High episode 24. Got me, Al, your host, co-host Ramon and Brad, and a very
Yo,
special guest. We have Devin Swank, man of many bands. What is up, man?
Hey, how's it going, guys? Just chilling over here in Ohio.
Nice, nice. Is it starting to get chilly over there?
Oh yeah, yeah. It was like 36 degrees last night. So
Whew,
oh shit, that's
starting
pretty
to get
nippy right there.
that
oh,
time of
thank
the
you.
year.
Yeah.
Well, man, first and foremost, how would you say metal gets you high? Like, what does metal do for your life?
How does metal get me high?
Yeah.
I could answer that on like a premise that metal's actually a drug. So
Yeah.
I'd say it's like a stimulant on some days. Gets me jacked and excited. Uh, Cures like some kind of anxiety, gets me like pumped up and fired up.
Sure.
Um, I'd say it's a downer some days. Some days I need to take a break from it, but always seem to relapse. So like I don't listen to just metal. Like sometimes I'll catch myself listening to a lot of post rock or hip hop a lot.
Okay. Yeah, I see the Deftones a lot, like some of the softer stuff when you post. I'm
Oh
like,
yeah, yeah,
okay.
yeah. I listen to Deftones when I work out, but also I'd say it's helps me kind of get through the day too. So it's kind of like my weed, and
Okay.
puts me in a good mood. Or if I'm having like a really like tough like whining day, it's just I can use it to relax.
Okay.
Yeah,
That
hell yeah.
that's I like how you answered that. That's actually the first time someone has, treated it like a drug, and the
Oh
way you described it, I could agree as, metal fan, just listening to it at the gym, just going through your day. And you're right. The way I tell them how I feel like when I don't want to listen to metal is like, man, I'm tired of getting yelled at by somebody all day. Let me go
yeah,
listen to something a little more calm.
yeah.
Well,
I mean,
go ahead.
before I was touring and everything too, I'd always listen to it at job sites and stuff. So uh, it's hard to say like there's not an hour of my day that goes by other than sleeping that
Yeah.
I'm like not listening to something heavy.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah,
Like,
yeah.
something I love about you guys, your band, just in general, is like how all of you guys, like, not only have the Bog, which of course, is a great band, but you guys have equally as good, like, side projects, which aren't even necessarily side projects. Because, like, I see you doing shows with Tomb Sentinel, and I see those volcano shows. Like, how do you guys manage having all those different uh you know ways to express your art?
It's really easy to manage when it's always a thing in like a lot of music scenes that if you find a good drummer, a good guitar player, a good vocalist, they're in like three or four different bands with the same members,
Yeah.
and that's kind of the case with us. Like we all share members within our side projects, me and Cody, um, primarily, and then the way we're able to kind of like work it out, when it comes to playing shows and staying busy, is we prioritize Sanguisugabogg, of course, because that's the band that we tour with. That's the band that we go out. That's the one that's gets the most attention.
Yeah.
And then what's cool is that on our free time, we just like to come up with ideas and then execute them. What's cool about jamming with Cody is any idea that any of us come up with, we can literally record it from his house. So
Okay.
we're able to pump
Oh
out
hell yeah.
EPs and then we practice there and stuff too. So been a lot of weird bands like formed there. Like where me, him, and Sed are also in a band called Dyskinesia,
Yeah.
and yeah, and we formed that after a Sing with Sugabog practice. Like we were just chilling and we were like, yo, let's put out some like 2006 uh MySpace like slam that we
Yeah.
found like when we were kids, and came up with the idea like out of thin air and just pumped those songs out in one night.
Okay.
Oh
That's
no
sick,
shit.
man. Like, do you sometimes ever have like ideas where you're like, oh, this will fit this project better, or do you not really? Is it just like a time and place where I'm like, oh, I'm working on this right now?
Yeah, definitely have ideas that we'll come up with, and we're like, yeah, let's use that for this or use that for that. Now, kind of with like Sanguisugabogg, everything is more of like a community like project, so everyone has a hand in the songwriting. So especially with the new stuff that we're doing, there's no like holding back. So basically, like we would come up with a song and be like, well, that's too gore grindy, so
Okay,
we need to save that for like Skag or like Putrid Steel. And now it's like, well, shit, we can make that a bog song if we want to, so we will, and we'll recycle a lot of riffs. Like, uh, there's shit that is in the new Sanguisugabogg that were like recycled riffs and themes that me and Cody came up with when we were kids. So
okay,
yeah, so
I,
yes and no. Like usually we'll come up with something and we'll like save that for this project or something specific for that project. Uh, but most of the time it's like a chaotic mess, like free for all type of thing.
okay.
yeah.
That
I think
sounds.
it's so. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I
Oh,
was
I was
gonna
just
just
gonna
say
say it's
that
cool. Yeah, that's badass. That like
yeah,
you guys have that bandwidth. It sounds like where you guys like it comes to you quick. It seems like.
yeah,
Yeah.
and you've also found a way to fully immerse yourself in metal, which is so dope. I mean, from what it sounds like, if you're not with this band, you're doing this, and you're right. It's kind of like different types of drugs at different times. They do different things.
For
That's
sure.
dope.
Yeah, metal is been the coolest thing I've ever like gotten involved in, and it's always been something that's piqued my interest. Like growing up, I was always in sports. I even ended up being a football coach
Oh
for a grip
shit.
too.
That's awesome.
I like it. Yeah, I have like a big passion. I'm a big lover of sports, but before that, and first and foremost, I've always been a lover of metal, any kinds of metal. I remember finding like four grind bands and like weird obscure shit as young as like 14. So
Oh shit!
Okay.
So you got into it early. You had a chance to really get into it early and explore it and
mhm.
everything.
Yeah. I mean, I started listening to it like really young. My dad got me into a lot of bands growing up. He got me into like Sepultura, Pantera, Metallica, Slayer, and from there on, like as I got older, made some friends. I'm like, before you know it, I'm 13, 14, listening to Dying Fetus and Cannibal Corpse, and just really like gravitating towards like the more like nastier sounds, like the
The more
better.
extreme side of
Yeah,
metal. You know what I mean? Like you
yeah,
said, those bands are obviously like Slayer, Metallica, Sepultura. You're like basics that like a good place to start, and then
mhm,
you go down
That
that
rabbit hole.
journey.
yeah, yeah. It's just like drugs, man. It just gets harder and harder. But fucking,
I love it.
and I like the shit that's like really niche too. That like a lot of people wouldn't give the time of day to listen to. Like weird like pitch shifted machine gun blasting music that just does not make sense to the human ear. But for some reason, man, like I listen to it, I'm just like, dude, this just makes me want to fucking eat drywall, So
Just jump to the drywall and eat it.
yeah,
Oh
just
shit,
Kool Aid
that's
man that
funny.
through everybody's house.
Oh
So you
shit.
guys just did this super sick show in New York. I saw with Suffo headlining. Tell us
Yeah.
about that show and what was it like to hop on stage with him, man?
Oh, dude. So Suffocation, hands down, is my favorite like death metal band of all time.
Okay.
I mean, we got on a tour with like Cannibal Corpse and stuff. That was really cool, man. But honestly, like the highlight of my career so far is making friends with Suffocation. That New York death metal scene has been something extremely vital to me. You know, especially being into other kinds of music that I'm into, like hardcore and hip hop. You know, they somehow the East Coast has been able to gravitate those kinds of grooves and stops and slams and incorporate it with death metal, and it just hits in such a way with me. So um, we've been talking to Suffocation for a few months now. Ever since we knew they caught wind of us, and they've been in our inbox like trying to shoot out offers and stuff like that. So always wanted to do something with them, and we were going to Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, to film 2 music videos for this new album. And our manager, who's from Long Island, said, "Hey, let's set up a Long Island show. It's only 3 hours away. You know, that way you guys can have some money, get you guys yourself a hotel and whatever, so we could really make it worth the trip." And we're like, "Sick. Who should we play with?" And then I guess Suffocation reached out to them saying, "We want to hop on this."
Oh
So
shit.
they pulled the like fucking friendship card out of nowhere, which was sweet, and fucking said like, "Yeah, we wanna play a show with you guys," and that got to happen. So I'm already like riding the high on that. That was fucking cool. And then we show up in park, and Charlie, their guitar player, busts out a bottle of Jack Daniels, a couple joints, and he's like, "You guys want to get down?" And we're like, "Fuck yeah!" So
Yeah, that's my kind of party.
right. So definitely like a huge highlight. You know, Terrence coming up to us, and yeah, I've been a Suffocation fan for a long time, man. Like when I was 17, I saw them with Despised Icon and Behemoth,
Oh
and
shit, that's a cool lineup.
it was a really cool lineup. Yeah, in Cleveland, and then I've seen them a couple more times. I've seen them about I'd say maybe like 6 or 7 times throughout my life, and I've mostly seen them with Frank Mullen, our original
Yeah.
singer, and that's someone I idolize from the moment I started playing death metal, and that's my favorite song off that EP. I love the Despise the Sun EP, so I just like put it in their ear, like, "Yo, you should let me do that part." And he's like, "You got it." So went up on stage and fucking rocked it, and then Terrence fucking dats me up like at the end of it. So it was like a real recognized real moment for me. It was sick.
That's a milestone. That's a life milestone right there.
Oh yeah, dude. I could never have sex again and wouldn't care because I got dapped up by Terrence Hawks.
Fuck yeah.
What has it kind of been like, you know, like having, you know, people you look up to like Cannibal and Suffocation kind of become your peers, you know?
I'm still not used to it, like at all, you know, because I, I would never think, and I never think like those bands are so fucking cool as well, man. Like, um, you know, we've toured with a lot of cool bands this year so far, and I would say every band that we've shared the road with, for the most part, you know, opened their doors to us and chilled with us and shot the shit with us and talked to us like we're at their level, or like there is no level, and you're just a band that's sharing the road with them. They talk to you like actual people, and I never expect that, you know, as a fan watching them, just how cool they are on the backside of things, and it's definitely a big eye opener thing, man.
Yeah.
I want to go on record too to say that the coolest fucking bands that we've ever played with aren't even death metal bands, which is crazy.
I can
Because,
see that.
dude, Nile, I'll go on the record to say it, they weren't assholes to us, but they were assholes to every other band on that tour. And then, like, Cannibal Corpse was really dope. They talked to us a lot, but they were also like, they just came from like a South American tour or a Latin American tour, one of the
Okay.
two, I can't remember. So they were really fucking tired, you know. So
Yeah.
we didn't really get to hang out as much as we would have liked to. We hung out like the last like few nights,
Okay.
That's when we started hanging out hard with them. And then, but dude, Terror from LA,
Yeah. Hardcore. Oh,
bro,
geez.
dopest fucking group of dudes we've ever had the pleasure to share on the road with. They opened their green rooms to us. They were giving us booze. They were
They had
hanging
some
every day.
hospitality.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they were down to fucking do shit too, like go out after the shows and hang out at bars, or like go get something to eat with us and all kinds of stuff, and like go exploring all types of shit. And they were always like side stage watching us and hanging,
Oh
dude.
shit.
And that's sick, man. And they were cool as fuck. And then the last tour we just toured with the Acacia Strain,
Yeah.
and
Sick band.
sick as fuck, man.
Fuck
And
yeah.
I feel like this is the sickest they've ever been too, man. They're really fucking tight, and they're also the coolest fucking dudes ever as well, dude. Like I just announced that we're playing a hometown show in Columbus. So that's 10 hours away from where Vincent Bennett lives.
Yeah.
And he's coming out to the show. He's driving there.
Oh no
Wow.
shit.
And that's a
So they
sick
went
show
to
you
hang-
guys got going too.
Yeah.
Oh,
You guys are all
yeah.
doing double duty, it looks like.
Yeah. We were supposed to have we were gonna have Mutilatred on it too, and that way Drew would have been able to play double duty.
Yeah.
But I'm also thinking about doing I haven't talked to anybody about it yet except my band, but I want to do an after show after that show and throw 200 stab wounds on there before they leave out for tour. Yeah.
Oh,
those
that's
are
a fucking banger lineup right there. Damn.
Yeah.
That's what I love about the scene right now too, is you kind of touched on it, where like there's death metal bands touring with hardcore bands. Like it's very like open, you know what I mean? And I think that's what's making the scene so healthy. And then in Ohio alone, you guys got a killer
Yeah.
scene out there. It's like every other week I feel like I'm finding out about an Ohio band.
You guys are just pumping them out.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Especially the last like 3 years. There's been a lot more bands, and another thing that's crazy too is the scene is just getting like younger and younger. And where I live in Columbus, we don't have really many DIY venues, but we have one that's really cool, and it's this laundromat.
Okay.
We heard of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we heard
We
about
had
it.
your buddy
Reefer.
in Tomb Sentinel, who we know is Reefer, on, so he talked to us
He
about
didn't
that
tell
show.
us his name. He just went by Reefer, so we call him Reefer. I don't know if that's his name.
No, it's not. His
No.
government name's Chris, dude.
Okay.
Shit, okay.
Government.
Yeah, we just call him Reefer.
I don't know what. He acts like he has warrants. He's just saying my name's Reefer. That's funny, dude. No one calls me.
We actually saw the video that Tim Sentinel put out of the laundromat, which was sick.
Oh yeah. That place rules, man. It's been around for a minute, and it's funny because like half of the washers and shit don't operate.
It's just a front for a metal scene. Yeah.
I think it's a money laundering scheme, is what it is. But like,
I mean, what laundromat isn't?
right? Some Walter White shit going on, but they have a bar and they have a cool ass scene, and it's one of the only venues right now. This is so stupid. It's one of the only venues right now that's all ages, because like everything after COVID for some reason just moved to 21 and up, and I was just like, you guys are so untouched. Like you have no idea.
Missing the ball right there.
Exactly. And it's like, bros, just start selling Red Bulls for fucking $4 a can. You know those kids are gonna drink them the fuck up. And
Yeah.
not only that, that's more money at the door too. And then
Yeah.
another thing about the scene that's kind of shot right now, like around here, is that they don't go. A lot of bars aren't going through local promoters anymore. They're going through agencies.
Oh fuck.
And it's like, man, like I used to, when I was booking shows like crazy, I'd get hit up by a band that doesn't have an agency, doesn't have management, doesn't have any of that stuff. And they're like, yo, we're doing a DIY tour. And it's like, yeah, I'll host you guys. And then have them play a show, throw them some money, have them stay at my place. Whatever, man. You know, that's the name of the game. And places aren't fucking doing that anymore, and it's just like I feel for people, dude. Like I I always rock being DIY. I have since I was 17 years old, and like like there's cities that are fucking shooting themselves in the foot, like not giving those bands the time of day because they don't have a place like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
they're
those
really
younger
missing out
bands
on a
need
big
it.
market.
Like
For sure.
that's how you sustain success is by just hitting shows, and that sucks that you guys don't have if they're
Right.
not
Yeah, I
letting
mean,
people younger than 21, because like it could change a 16-year-old's life. It might make them want to start a band, and that helps the scene.
yeah. I mean, that was definitely my thing. Like we had a skate spot and we had a couple house venues like by where I grew up, and that changed my entire world, man. Being able to go to cool shows, and we used to have this place called the Taxidermy Palace, and they threw gasoline on a fucking couch one time and lit it on fire,
Oh,
Oh
and
shit.
shit!
people were like dancing around it and shit. And I was like, man, y'all are wild, but I fuck with this. So I was like,
Hell yeah!
this is. I was like, this is
Um,
me now.
I wanted to ask
Holy
who
shit!
runs the socials for you guys, because you guys, that's one of my favorite things about you
Oh,
guys is you guys have sick memes. Like, you guys are just funny fuckers.
oh yeah. It's damn it. I want to keep it a secret.
Keep
Cause
it.
like,
No,
Please,
keep it a
it's all
secret,
good.
man.
Don't
okay,
even trip.
okay,
I love it. I love it. It's you guys do have
cool,
some of the
cool.
best fucking socials out there, though.
Yeah, and like I see you guys like kind of
Yeah.
getting shade thrown at you for being merch core, but like, what's that even mean? Like, I think it's so stupid because like you guys are funny as fuck. You get from the people we've talked to know you. You guys are great dudes, and like it's
Yeah.
just crazy to me. Like, why wouldn't you want the band that you like to sell merch? You know what I mean? It's fucking
Yeah.
stupid.
Right, man. Yeah, people want to throw shade, but like, dude, there are things in my life that I have morals, and I have a no tolerance policy that goes beyond not just like friends or people I fuck with, but like family members and people that I love unconditionally. Like, if you're a shitty person, I don't fuck with you. So I wouldn't be in a band with anybody that's shitty. And
Yeah.
I also hold myself to that standard as well. So I would never do anything shitty. But and people want to call us merch corps, but they seem to forget like we've toured for an entire year. So like
Yeah,
the merch, and we haven't done any merch drops online. They're talking shit about things that happened like 2 years ago when we only had 4 songs, and like, dude, people were buying. We wouldn't be printing the shit if people weren't buying it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah.
it's like,
That's
People
my
obviously want it.
yeah, yeah. And
that's what I thought was
we also
funny
do
about
like
it.
tour exclusive stuff. Yeah, I mean, I think it's funny, like, because if there's a band that only exists on the internet and they're pumping out a fuck ton of merch, that to me is a merch core band. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like their deathcore band that they used to not be anything, but Shadow of Intent. They used to
Hmm.
be a laptop brutal death like deathcore band, and they never played any shows,
Yeah.
and then they got a lineup and everything else, and they're huge right now. But like before, I would have considered them a merch core band because they didn't play any shows and they were already like pumping out a fuck ton of merch. But at the same time, it's
Okay.
just like
Makes sense.
if you don't like us, if you don't like our merch, don't fucking buy it. I
I
don't
agree,
care.
Yeah.
man.
I could wipe my ass with a t-shirt. I'm not gonna lose any sleep over it, man. I rock the same bands every fucking day. So like
Yeah.
whatever, and it's funny that the people that talk shit, they're 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 also people that like, because I look at it, I'm not gonna lie. Like anytime someone says shit, I'm like, all right, who is this guy?
Yeah.
And I find out it's like they're Vogue posting or there's some fucking twerp that's never even been to a show hardly. So it's like Why are you
Yeah,
even
it's like
talking?
how are you gonna have any like nothing he says has substance to it. He's never been to it doesn't make sense why
See,
somebody like that would be talking
in
shit.
the past too, like when I first got into metal, I feel like I could not lie, like I probably would say stupid shit online, you know what I mean? But then like at some point I dropped the mentality, and then it's for me now, it's not bad, it's just not for me. Like nothing's bad, you know what I
Exactly.
mean? Like there's
And
like go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, a lot of things I listen to are very niche. Like, like a lot of people don't listen to it. I know it's not for everybody. But
Yeah.
like
Hmm.
at the same time, you want to die. Like people want to die on this hill where they hate us so much that they don't stop fucking. Like we just live in their head rent free. And then I don't even respond to them, and they want me to, and it's like, yo, if you ain't got nice shit to say, like I'm not gonna talk to you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. There's no reason.
but I think it's funny, and it's also like a pat on the back because, like, you're doing something when you have haters. Like, Rush is considered one of the greatest bands of all time. I know a fuck ton of people that hate their guts,
Yeah.
and it's like, dude, that like, because I always think like, and why ain't this band getting any hate or this band? And it's just like they probably haven't been like shoved in that many people's faces, and the
Yeah,
fact
a
that
very niche amount of people are listening to them. It's like a
right,
smaller group that like it. Yeah, it hasn't
yeah,
expanded yet.
exactly, and so in a way, I'm kind of lucky that my band with a shitty logo and a weird ass name is pissing people off. It's like you're mad, but I'm having like literally the time of my life. You're mad about
Man, your
it, and that
guys'
goes.
logo is fucking great.
I
That's
love it.
what that I saw that I was like, I need to listen to this. What is this? And that's basically how we found it. It was, the logo does it.
For
Oh
me, it
yeah,
was the name. I saw the name and I was like, I gotta check this out. Like I don't even know how to say this. And then, ever since then I've been hooked. You guys are killing it. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. And
thanks, man.
unfortunately, we haven't got the chance to see you guys just because it's been a little while since come to the West Coast or our area, but I know that'll come in due time. I know you guys are gonna hit Europe very shortly with Fool of Hell and Jag, like or Jad, sorry. Um, Tell us a little bit about that. And like, is this your first time going to Europe?
Yeah, man. I've never been out of the country like ever in my
Okay.
life. So, um, you know, Dylan from Full of Hell is we've talked for a little while now. Ever since our full length came out, he's been shooting messages and stuff back and forth, and got the opportunity to see them with Converge and Val on that tour that they did earlier this year, and we got to hang and we had such a good time. He was just like, man, he was like, you'd be a cool band to take out on the road, and we're like, all right, like I'll believe it when I see it. And
Yeah.
then we got to hang out with them at the Fillmore in Philly. We played Metal and Beer Fest together, and
Nice.
yeah, it was a cool ass time. And we got to kick it with them again, and Dylan was like, let's do Europe together, and we're like, shit. And none of us have our passport at this time, and we literally get the offer 2 weeks after he says that, and then we're like, well, we got to say yes. So we said yes, and then like a week later, filled out the application for our passports, expedited them. There was still a chance that we weren't going to get them until November, so we were freaking the fuck out.
Shit.
If it wasn't for that band like wanting to take us out, we would have never. We're lazy, dude. We probably wouldn't fucking put the foot in our ass to
Yeah.
get our passports
Yeah.
and shit. So,
Oh shit, that's funny.
It's
They,
fun.
they
yeah,
they gave you that kick in the ass to. They're like, all right, we got to get this
yeah.
shit done.
Like, yeah, you guys need to act like a band. And we're like, oh, okay.
Oh shit.
They're like, we're just dudes who look like a band.
Yeah, these
Correct.
guys are just jamming.
What are some newer bands that you're currently enjoying?
Newer bands. That's hard to say, man. Because
Or
like,
maybe recent releases you've been spinning?
okay, I like the new Phobophilic a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was listening to it last night in the gym, and I was just like, man, this got everything I like right now. The new Vomit Forth that came out during the summer is sick. I've also been jamming like a lot of bands that are in the new wave, and they've at least put out something in the last year. But like Gordon Brace, from Chicago, was really sick, and yeah, I mean, when it comes to death metal, man, I usually listen to like the same shit that I
Classics.
always do. Yeah. Um,
I feel
I
that.
listen to a lot of stuff like mid to late '90s and early 2000s. Like I listen to a lot of Mortal Decay. They're a cool ass band. Scattered Remnants. Um, Gorgasm. My Instagram username's a Gorgasm album. I got
Okay.
their logo tattooed on me. I ride for that band. I love that band.
That's sick. I'll have to
Um,
check them out.
yeah, they're badass. And then yeah, Eternal Suffering. You know, if you like this like hardcore and like brutal death metal crossover thing, man. Like everyone's talking about like it's a new thing. It was going on in the early 2000s, and people just never took a notice to it. But bands like Eternal Suffering, Internal Bleeding, Revenants, Partisan Turbine, even early Waking the Cadaver shit.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
jam it. I jam it a lot, man. And then a lot of old school bands from Ohio too, like Embalmer, Decrepit, shit like
Oh
that.
yeah. Crap, it's always fun. Um, well, thank you for talking to us. We really appreciate it. We're all fans of the Bog, and
Yeah.
that honestly, dude, the Tomb Sentinel EP is one of my favorite things released this year. I didn't even the first 2 weeks I was listening to it. It's crazy. I didn't even know that you were a part of it until I like did a little research, and I was like, oh fuck, no wonder. That makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, that's it's been a cool project, man. We're gonna be re-releasing that EP with like 3 other songs on it too. So
Fuck yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
That's
hell yeah.
exciting.
I'm excited for that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be fucking sick, dude. And then the way we like to end it is, obviously metal's kind of a tough thing to get into for some people, but if somebody who's wants to check out metal, or get into death metal specifically, what are the 3 albums that you would be like, hey, try this out, and if you like these 3, you're probably gonna like this shit.
oh yeah. Damn. So I'd start on like proto death, like death metal probably, and do Beneath the Remains, Sepultura.
Okay,
Okay.
that's a good one.
Number 2, I would do Pierce from Within from Suffocation, just to see if they can get a taste of something heavier.
Yeah.
And
You
then
gotta throw them in the deep end sometimes.
yeah, and then 3, I would probably do, just because it's still like kind of crossover, it's still pretty easy to listen to in a way. I would do I'd probably do Slowly We Rot by Obituary.
Obituary. Those are some good. I
Okay.
like that.
Those are
3
good,
very
good
different
choices.
albums, but like they're different realms of death metal, and you're bound to like one of the 3. So I
For
definitely
sure.
respect that. And then actually, I have one last thing. What made you start doing the John Daly chant before the shows? I've been seeing that on some Hate 56 videos, and Brad
Yeah.
here's a huge golf fan, so.
Fuck yeah. Oh yeah. Daly's king, man. Because I love John Daly, dude.
It's one of the
that's
best quotes of all time.
yeah, man. I've been following him Since I was young and started watching fucking Sports Center, and I was just like, who is this fucking asshat? That's like they're letting
Got a
like
fucking mullet.
yeah, that's got like a mullet. He's old as shit, and he always seems like he's bombed, like drunk.
Yeah.
And I was like, I love him, man. Like I love like iconic sports figures a lot. Like I'm a huge Bill Walton fan. We used to in college. We used to only watch the games that Bill Walton was like telecasting and like narrating and stuff. So, um, yeah, John Daly's like one of those people that I held on to, and it's just like I know damn well if I was in his corner, we'd be blazing and drinking. So
Oh yeah.
I saw that. I saw some cell phone video of him saying that quote, and I was like, "That's me energy. That's my guy."
You're like,
Yeah.
I'm fucking, dude. Yeah, that when Al he showed me that for the first time, I lost my shit. I was like, this is the fucking greatest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
It
we started using it our first ever local show that we played, and then we played it so much that whenever we'd forget the samples and I'd say it, there'd be people in the crowd yelling it with me. And I'm like, fuck yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's good to know.
Thing.
I hope you guys bring it to the West Coast. If you guys do, we'll definitely hook you up with some goodies for the road. And we appreciate your time. We put all your socials in the description so that way people could buy your shit, check out your shit, because that's what it's all about. And then Brad, you want to do the plugs, and we're good, brother.
Yeah, Devin, thanks for joining us, man. Really, really appreciate it. Everyone, please go like and subscribe, and you could all listen to me and Al on Crooks and Books podcast for the sports betting NFL season. We got a big game tonight, so just thank you, everybody.
Yeah. Then did you want to promote anything? Do you have anything going on?
Oh yeah. So this is actually the first interview where I can plug this too.
Hell
So,
yeah, please.
Hell yeah.
Our first single off our new record is dropping November 15th.
November
And,
15th. Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yep. We'll have a new record that comes out early next year through Century Media. Not going to get the name of it yet, but it's drug related. It's getting high related. So.
Fuck yeah.
I love it.
And we got a track dropping November 15th. That's when pre-orders and everything start. And then our release date for our album right now is projected at on February 3rd. So.
February 3rd. Fuck yeah.
Hell
I'll
yeah,
definitely
man.
be getting some pre-order because my girl was like, hey, your shirt collection's getting out of hand, so you could only get stuff when you go to a show. But I'll have to make an exception for you guys because I need some shit.
We'll be in California a lot next year. We already got like 3 or 4 California shows confirmed. So.
Fuck yeah.
Oh,
man.
hell yeah.
I'm excited for that. We'll like I said, we'll shout you out, bring you some shit, and hopefully, if you guys want to smoke a blunt with us, we got you.
No, we're totally down. Yeah, come hang out with us.
All right.
For
Have a
sure.
good one. Thank you, Devin.
Thanks, brother. Take it easy.
See ya.